life journey. And I always am intrigued whenever he begins a story because I always end up in a place I never imagined I would be, but it pops open God's presence. So I'd like to turn us this over, and I'd like your attention to be on Father Anthony for the next 15 minutes while he shares to us a little bit about the wisdom of Father Solanus.
How's everybody doing? My name once again is Brother Anthony. For those who doesn't know, originally I'm from Nigeria, and I love everybody here. And Solanus Casey, I can relate to that, and you today you can relate to that. So when we talk about Solanus, we are not talking about history. We are talking about present. What are you seeing in Detroit right now? How is the people? How is Detroit now? Traffic everywhere. Before, you can't see anybody in downtown. Now there is traffic. I mean, what has been bad, God has restored. God is restoring it. Now the question is, if God can restore Detroit, how about human being that God has created? That's a question for you. Today I'm going to give you a short talk from Solanus Casey's phrase, because we don't have much time. I'm going to read his quote, and we will go from there. This is what Solanus Casey said. Listen carefully. We must be, quote, we must be faithful to the present moment, or we will frustrate the plan of God for our life. Gratitude is the first sign of thinking rational creatures. You see how radical it is? It did not mix well. If you want to be a child of God, you got to move on it. You're going to walk it. You're going to walk the walk. And I remember the story I've been hearing from everybody. When I hear the word faithful to the present moment, what came to me immediately is when somebody confessed positively. When somebody confessed positively, that was why when he heard the call, he came to Detroit. Go to Detroit. And you remember, you can tell throughout the Lenten series, we have been hearing the word, if today you hear his voice, harden not your heart, right? So he heard the voice. That's why he came to Detroit. Now the question is, now after the Great Suppression, which all of you are aware, Capuchin stayed behind in order to feed the poor. If Capuchin would have left Detroit, what would have happened to you and me today? Probably you and myself wouldn't have been here. Maybe the soup kitchen and Solanus Casey wouldn't have been here. I am led to understand that Solanus Casey passed through a lot, yet he put God first in whatever he was doing. Faithfulness in the present moment is, for me, it's like transforming your desolations into consolation. Something has been difficult with you, something that you thought you cannot make it, but now God make it happen in the different ways. All of you know the story of Solanus Casey. He was faithful to the call. Now look at what Father Dan said here. During the novitiate years of Solanus Casey, his notebook shows some goals of his faithful and healthy spiritual lifestyle. He falls in love with God, who has led him to his new life. He called the goals means of acquiring God's love. Means of acquiring God's love. First, he said, to do that is to become detached from other desire. That is why Lenten period is very important. Second, spend time meditating on the love of Christ in the Passion. This is the season. And he said to discern what God is asking of him by uniting himself to whatever that may be. That's very strong. Whatever God will for you. Are you ready to surrender? Sacrifice. We are here 40 days, fasting, praying for God to renew us so that we can celebrate the resurrection at Easter. And that is what Solanus Casey did. No matter what happened to him, he stayed focused. I find that, be faithful in the present moment. What does that mean to you? When things are, it's not when things are very good. When things are bad, what do you do? Like Solanus Casey, they will ask him, go to New York, go to Detroit, go here. He will go with God. Are you going with God wherever you go? Do you move with God? You allow God to lead you to where you are going, even when you don't know? Why not give the challenge to God? Many of us want to put a stumbling block to what God wants to do. I tell you what, if Solanus had listened to all what the intelligent friars has told him, he would have walked away completely. And the cause of God would have been abandoned. He heard God, he listened to God, so any other thing was secondary to him. And that is why he stayed focused. Imagine a priest, staying there, waiting for people, being at the gate, greeting people. See, God can take any little things. Sometimes I see you don't know how valuable you are. That Jesus had paid the price for you and myself. Because he died for you. He purchased you. And because he purchased you, no sickness, no disease, no enemy can withstand. Even though you crush you down, you still have to get up. Because God is in you. The Bible says, the one that is in me is greater than the one that is in the world. And these are all some of the things you are passing through. You thought that's the end of your life. No. I remember a story one pastor told me. They were at the big conference. And one guy said he wants to test everybody whether they are serious. He wrote his check, $10 million check, and pulled out a new note, a $100 bill, and put the $100 bill on the table, well decorated, and took the $10 million check and throw it down and scramble on it and trash it. The whole thing becomes dusty and like you can see from distance, and you say, this is just nasty. Now he asked the people in the congregations, now I want all of you to go and choose which one will you pick. Guess what? Everybody went for the 10 million check. Why? Because no matter how they have stormed on hit the person's, try to trash it, the value of that 10 million remain unchangeable. That value remain compared to $100 bill. So you are even valuable than $10 million because God purchased you. And so when in the time of difficulty, what do? Remember the Lord's Prayer. Give us today. That's my own version. Give us today our daily bread. Our problem is we think about a million things. Father Albert told us that. One of our friars, I want to say Father Albert, maybe we know him. He said, people are living in 3 time zones. You know what I mean? 3 time zones. You're thinking about today, you're thinking about tomorrow, you get yourself confused and get nothing out of it. Remember, 2017 is gone, right? Can you bring 2017 here? You cannot, right? You cannot. Then why are you thinking, wasting your time and energy on things on the past? This one do me this, he cost me, I won't forgive him. This and that, he didn't call me. Things that are past. You know what? You are giving license to the enemy to choke on you. Do you ever remember that? You give license to the enemy to torment you. Because when you are doing that, the person says, oh, yeah, you will keep calling. But if you say, let it go and let go, I'm moving forward, God will use you because you are not wasting your energy. Remember, sometimes, have you thought about this? Sometimes you'll be thinking 24/7 without getting any solution out of it. You know what that does to you? It sucks life out of you. It destroys all your plot. It destroys all your plan, and you can't get nothing out of it. Look at the whole thing, and you get up in the morning. Oh, I'm very tired today. I'm weak. I am sick. And look at all the energy. You stay awake. God has given you a blessed night to rest. You continue to be thinking something that you cannot bring out. Look at how much time you waste. We say some people are sick not just because they are sick, just because of too much thinking negativity. That's why I said from the beginning, you have to confess positively. That is one of the powerful integrity of spirituality, to think positively. You can get up this morning and say, I know God is going to help me today. I know whether it's bad, I know God is with me. I know my children, God will take care of them. Do that 7 days and see what's going to happen. I promise you something is going to change. Because when you confess Jesus, when you confess with your mouth, there is power. No matter what we are telling in the Solanus case, he never cared about whatever people were saying. You can't read, you can't write, you can't do this, they throw him from left to right. He kept quiet. He's the best friend to all the creatures, animals, you name them. And he took the example from our brother Francis. That's why when you walk through that garden there, you see different creatures. Everything becomes very useful. And in the end, I like the last part of the quote. He said, gratitude is the first sign of thinking rational creature. You are not animals. You are not any other thing. You are a rational human being who should think wisely. Your children did bad things. You will curse them. Remember, you are just pronouncing, you are locking them in the worst prison. When you curse your children, they cannot become anything. You can, or your wife or your children, your mouth is sharp. You remember the Bible said, like two-edged sword. It's so powerful. And we ought not to do that. Why I'm saying that? This is a season of Lent. This is a season of following Jesus and walk into that desert for that 40 days. Remember, at the end of 40 days, see how stupid the devil is? The enemy doesn't know that you are so valuable, purchased, bought by Jesus Christ through his own precious blood. At the end of that 40 days, that is why Satan will, hey, can you turn this stone into bread? Remember, if you listen carefully, you know that the stone was made by the devil. It's from somewhere that the devil has planned for that in order to trap Jesus. Just this one. It's not, in the desert there are many stones, right? But I say this one, and Jesus gave him what he needed. Get behind me, Satan. So that is what you will do. Sometimes bad thought will enter you to frustrate. You are at the present moment, you'll be thinking right now, where you are now. What am I thinking now? What do I need from God now? What do I want today? Give us this day. God himself told Moses, when Moses did not know his name, say, I am. Remember, we are talking about present. You are here now, and no human being can occupy your space now. Remember? No atom can take where you are. The air cannot even enter where you are now. You occupy it, created, designed by God. And no animal can say, yo, get up here, because this is your spot right now. Remember, I always say my little jokes, when you turn your thumbprint, when you do your fingerprint, it's completely different from everybody in the face of the earth. Nobody can be compared with that. That's why in the airport, if you use somebody's thumbprint, they will get you quickly. So you see that? You see how God so make you uniquely. Sometimes I need to tell you how valuable you are. And that is what Solanus cases suffer, so that many will understand the meaning and how valuable they are. Rational thinking creature. Rational thinking creature. It's not like I will just make, you are not a mistake. Know that. You know that? This guy is laughing boldly. You are never, ever a mistake. I have seen somebody who was born without hand or leg, but is preaching all over the world, 16 countries over now, if it's not more than that. And you yourself, God created you. What have you done for God? Solanus Casey has done his own. It's gone. Now, this is our own turn. What do we do? How do we carry on this charism of Solanus Casey? Many people, I know when I came here, say one newspaper called him Padre Pio, the American Padre Pio. It's good. I love that. And when people were coming here, oh, why didn't we go to Rome for this beatification? Where did we do this? I said, you know what? For thousands, hundreds of years, we've been going to Rome. Now Rome is coming here. Give a hand for people. Come on. Come on. You see, I want you to see how valuable you are. Faithfulness in the present moment. About 4 cardinals I drove from the airport myself. You see? And talk about Bishop and other people who came from Rome. They came to us. So you see, even walking to these grants, Pope gave them from Rome, they brought it to you. You don't go and get it from them. They brought it on your door. And it's all here. So when you walk, when we say prayer, healing, or people always talk, it's going to heal. It's only physical. It's more than just physical. We are not just about, if it was physical, you know what? Solanus Casey, God would have healed him before he died. But you know what? His skin disease remained. When he died, that was the time that disappeared. Padre Pio, the same thing, wound. When he died, that was the time the wound healed. So how are you making use of your own cross? Be faithful in the present moment. What are you doing with your crosses? Or like somebody, there was a story, a pastor said that the guy said his cross was too much when they were were going to heaven. So he started complaining. Each time he complaining, they redo his cross to the extent when he get to where they were to put the cross across big valley to walk through, because you have to help yourself. So because you have been demanding that this cross is small, it needs a shorter one or smallest one. So when he came to that valley, everybody crossed, but he couldn't cross because the cross was short. Sometimes the big crosses is the value of your goal. Look at what Jesus suffered. And Mary was watching. Mary suffered with her. Think how much you suffer for your kid. Just remember that. And you thought there cannot be anything. In the end, you see them, I know what I'm talking about because I know what it takes to be in the refugee camp for 3 years. I know what I'm talking about. When I call it making use of my raw material. How do I make use of my problems, my struggle? How do I go and ask Lord and Jonah, Lord, how are you going to help me for this? God turned everything to good. I would have been ordained 3 years ago. My community was suppressed. I didn't know what to do. The Lord told me the same thing. It's going to be okay. Be still and know that I am. And today, here I am. Well, happier than before. That's why some people call me I'm crazy, because the joy of the Lord is my strength. I want that joy to be your own joy. And to come up with that, once again, I will tell you that, I will say that, we add that. So what do we do? I mentioned before that faithfulness is the present moment. The faithfulness in the present moment is to transform desolation into consolation. That's what people didn't know. That's so valuable, to turn your pain into something great. You can offer sacrifice with almsgiving, everything. People are doing that. Look at the soup kitchen. We have 12-step program. Those who came from prison, they are helping people. They go to other big churches and share their testimony. Could you believe that most of the big guys there, their children are under alcohol? They are under the influence of alcoholic, drugs, and everything. When they hear that, they left the bread, they were selling, and trying to listen to their story. I want you to make use of your story. How will people give testimony? I want you to give testimony of your struggling. And that is what Solanus Casey did for us. And towards the end, I would say, and in conclusion, I would say, we must be faithful to the present moment in gratitude to God who made us. Once again, blessed be God in all his design. Thank you.